A very good evening to all of you guys. Do let me know whether I'm audible to all of you or not. Am I audible, guys, to all of you? Okay, cool, cool. So let me share my screen, first of all. Okay. Do let me know, guys, whether my screen is up for you or not. I guess it's visible to all of you, right? Yeah. So let's begin with the session, guys. Yesterday, we have discussed, few very basic details and introduction kind of a thing with respect to the ML, DL, AI, and more specifically over generative AI and tools. Today, our focus will be on the Python for data science part. We will be only focusing over the programming part regarding this particular session. And we will try to explore the different functions and methods and concepts which are used in Python with respect to the data science only. All right. And I will try to cover as many concepts I can cover in today's session. So that is the agenda for today's class. Before starting with the session, guys, do let me know how many of you are aware with the basic Python programming or with the Jupyter notebook. You can reply in yes or no form in the chat box or comment window. So I can see most of you are aware with respect to the Python programming part, the basic programming. Okay. Okay, a couple of them are not aware about this one. So I will start from the beginning and I will try to cover the basics as well. So guys, we are using a tool called Jupyter Notebook, where we will write all our programs, all our codes for data science perspective. Okay, so Jupyter Notebook is a platform where we write codes and we can execute the code. Okay, now how you can install the Jupyter Notebook? So for that, you need to install something called as a Anaconda distribution. Anaconda distribution. You can easily install this particular distribution just typing the Anaconda distribution over the Google. And you will be landed to the home page for this Anaconda distribution. And here you can see the option of free download. You can download this particular distribution as an exe file. And once the download is finished, you can install this particular distribution. Now, once this particular distribution is installed, when you open this Anaconda distribution first time, you will get this kind of a home page available in your system. So this is the home page for Anaconda distribution, right? And in this home page, you can see there are multiple what you can say tools are available. You can utilize these tools for a respective purpose. And apart from all these tools, we have a one of the tool called as a Jupyter notebook. You can see here. And within this Jupyter notebook, we have a button called launch. So with this launch button, you can see, you can open this Jupyter notebook. So once you click on this launch button, a web page will get open like this. So this will link to your system, like your desktop downloads section, and number of things will be linked to this one. So you can navigate to the respective folder where you have saved your data set, or whether where you can save your Jupyter notebook, Python codes and all. So from there you can open your respective Python notebook. So I will show you. So let's suppose this is the home page for me, and in this home page under the desktop, I have a folder called ExcelR. Within this folder, I have again one folder, AI ChatGPT training program, and it's a day 2. Within this folder, let's suppose I want to create a new Python notebook where I will write the code. So you can see in this particular page, on the right corner, top corner, I have a button called new. If you click over this new button, you will get options like Python 3, IPY kernel, and few other options. Once you click over this Python 3, you will be getting one new notebook kind of a thing open, and this is called as a Jupyter notebook. So in this Jupyter notebook, what you can see, you can get this one cell. This particular thing is called as a cell, and this is the place where we write the code. This is first thing. Apart from that, you can also add more cells just by clicking this plus button. So once you press this button, the more cells will get added to this particular notebook, right? So this is the place where we write the code. This is the first thing. Second thing, let's suppose I want to add two numbers, 10 plus 20, and I want to see the result. So first of all, you need to execute this particular cell, and how to execute. For that, you have two options. The first one, just click anywhere over this particular cell. You can see here my cursor is blinking here in this cell, and then press the run button, this run button. The moment you press this run button, you will get the output immediately below this particular cell. So 10 plus 20 is 30. This is the one way how you can execute your code cell by cell. Another way is there is a shortcut. The shortcut is Shift plus Enter. Shift plus Enter. This is a shortcut to run any particular cell or to execute any particular cell. Let's suppose I want to execute 20 minus 10. So one way to execute this cell is just press this run button. Another way, the shortcut is Shift Enter. Shift Enter. You will get the output just below this particular cell. So this is how you can execute your codes. And this particular like whatever you write over this like cells, this is something called as a Python notebook. And more specifically, it is called as a Jupyter notebook. The codes are written in Python language, right? You can also import this notebook. So how to import? You can go to this file section. Over this file section, you can see one option called as a download as. So here you will get multiple options. You can download this Python notebook as a HTML file. You can download it as a same like notebook format. You can also download as a PDF file or a Python code file, right? Apart from this, you have a few more options, but most commonly used options are either HTML file, notebook, or Python format. So this is the basic introduction, how you can handle this notebook. So I'm just closing this one and I will start the basics regarding the Python, which is required for a data science point of view. Just a minute. Okay. So let's start the Python, which is required for a data science point of view. So my first topic is there is something called as a Python data structures. Python data structures. So what are the data structures present in the Python language? So there are a couple of data structures present in Python language, and the work of these data structures are to handle the data in a respective manner. So when we pass different kind of a data, how this data is being handled by Python, that is being controlled with the help of the data structures. So in Python, we have a number of data structures, like we have something called as a tuple. We have something called as a set, dictionary, and list. So these are the data structures present in Python, which are most commonly used in day-to-day work life in the data science domain. Right? So I will discuss one by one what are these things, like what is this tuple, set, dictionary, and list, how you can create these data structures and how you can handle this one. Right? So I will start with tuple part. Okay. Just about this. I guess the link is already shared to all of you. Okay. So let's start with the first data structure, that is the tuple. So tuples are nothing but they are used to store multiple items separated by comma. So items are nothing but the elements which we want to store in the tuple, right? So tuples can store multiple elements or items that is being separated by comma. Tuple is the collection of elements which is ordered and immutable. So I will discuss what is the meaning of ordered and immutable. But before that, let me just show you how you can create a tuple. So let's suppose, guys, I want to save a few elements like 1, 7, 13, 34, and 5. I want to save these numbers as a tuple. So you can create a tuple by saving these elements separated by comma. Just put a comma and then put all these elements inside the angle braces. So this is how you can create the tuple. And I can save all these elements in a variable called, let's suppose my variable name is a T1. You can take any variable name according to your convenience. So let's suppose I am taking the variable name as a T1. So T1 equals to 1, 7, 13, 34, 5. And all these elements inside the angle braces. So this is how you can create a tuple. This is how you can create a tuple. So this is what I have done in the first cell. So you can see here, I have created a tuple having the integer values like 1, 7, 13, 34, and 5. Now, how to print the values of this T1? So let me Just segregate this one. So this is how I'm creating the variable T1 with the values of 1, 7, 13, 34, and 5. Now, if I want to check what are the values stored in this variable T1, so just type the name of the variable and execute the cell. So how to execute the cell? Shift Enter. And you can see here, the values stored with this variable T1 are 1, 7, 13, 34, and 5. Now, how you will get to know whether this T1 is a tuple or not? So for that, guys, we have a one function, and the name of the function is nothing but the type. Type. Type is the name of the function. Within this function, if you pass your variable name, so my variable name is a T1. And if you execute this particular cell, so the output is tuple. That means T1 is a variable which is type of a tuple. So T1 is a tuple kind of a variable. So this is how you can check whether your variable is a tuple or anything else, right? So this is the way how you can create and verify whether you have created a tuple or any other. This is first thing. Second thing, you can also create a tuple with different kind of values. So you can see here in tuple T1, I have all the values which are of an integer type, right? Here, I want to create a variable or tuple, let's say T2, and I want to store not only integer values, but also some character kind of a values. So this is also possible. So here I'm creating in line number 3, here I'm creating a tuple T2 with the values of 1, hello, and 3.4. So it's a mix of numerical plus character kind of a values. And if you see what are the values stored in this T2, that is a 1, hello, and 3.4. And if you check the type of T2, you will get type as a tuple. So this is how you can create a tuple with mixed kind of values. Now let's come to the second part. Let's say I have created 3 tuples, tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3. And you can see here in tuple 1, I have all the numerical values. In tuple 2, I have a 2 numerical values. In tuple 3, I have a 2 character values, right? So there is something called as the concatenation of 2 or more than 2 tuples. Concatenation. Concatenation is nothing but combining the values of your variables. So how you can combine or concatenate? So here, in case of a tuple, the values are being combined with the help of the plus operator. Plus operator. So for example, let's suppose I have a 2 tuples, T1 with the value of 5. I have another tuple T2 with the value of 10. And if I want to combine these 2 values in a single tuple, let's say T3, so I can write here T3 equals to T1 plus T2. So the output will be like, in T1, I have a value 5. In T2, I have a value of 10. So in that way, you can combine multiple tuples into a single tuple. Right? So this is something called as a concatenation of 2 or more than 2 tuples. So this is what I have done here. So first of all, I have created 3 tuples, tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3. And I have just concatenated all these 3 tuples with the help of the plus sign or plus operator. Now you can see in the output, I am getting all the elements present in tuple 1, tuple 2, and tuple 3. So starting from 244 to 6980, this is a tuple 1 values. These 2 are the tuple 2 values, and these 2 are the tuple 3 values. All the values are present in the single tuple. Right? So this is the way you can concatenate 2 or more than 2 tuples. Okay. Then there is something called as a repetition of elements. So guys, if you multiply your tuple with any of the numerical number, so let's suppose I have a tuple T1 with the values of 2 and 4. And if I multiply my tuple with, let's say, 3. So what it will do, it will repeat the elements present in tuple T1 3 times. It will do the repetition. Rather than multiplying the elements by 3, it will do the repetition of the elements present in T1 by 3 times. So in the final output, you will get 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. That's a repetition of 2 and 4 3 times. So this is what you will get in the output if you multiply any tuple with any integer value, right? So this is what I have showed you. So let's suppose I have a tuple 2. In the tuple 2, I have a values 4, 4, 4 and 8, 8, 8. And if I multiply this tuple 2 with the value 3, so what I will get? I will get the repetition of these elements 3 times. So this is the first time I'm getting the 4, 4, 8, 8. This is the second time I'm getting 4, 4 and 8, 8. And this is the third time I'm getting that 4, 4 and 8, 8. So multiplying with any numerical number with a tuple, that will eventually multiply the elements or repeat the elements, not multiply, actually it will repeat the elements. Apart from that, you can also check the how many number of elements are present in your tuple. So let's suppose I have a tuple 1. So let's suppose I have a tuple 1 where I have these many values. Now I want to know how many values or how many elements are there in this particular tuple. For that, we have a method called or a function called len, which is a short form for the length. It's a short form for the length. So what it will do, it will give you how many number of elements are present in your tuple. So len of tuple 1, that is nothing but what is the length of this tuple. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 elements are there. That's why we are getting output as a 8. Right? So this is one of the basics regarding the tuple part. Apart from that, guys, in Python, whatever variable you are creating, let's suppose I'm creating a variable called A, and in this variable, let's say I have a let's say 5 values, 10, 12, 15, 8, and let's say 2. Let's say I have these 5 values. So in Python, at the backend, Python will assign indexes to these values. So at the backend, the indexing is done by the Python, and the indexing will always start with the 0. So it's like at index position 0, I have an element 10. Index position 1, I have an element 12. At index position 2, I have an element 15. At index position 3, I have an element 8. At index position 4, I have an element 2. So this indexing is present at the backend in Python. So it's nothing but the, you can say the position number given to each and every element in the Python, which is present at the backend by default. And this position number or indexing, it is also called as a position number or indexing. And this indexing starts from 0 always in Python. So what is the role of this indexing? So actually this index values or index position help us to fetch the values or elements present at the respective location. So let's suppose out of all these 5 values, I want to fetch only the value 15. I don't want all other values. I just want this 15 element. So how I can get this 15 element? Based upon the index position. So I can write here variable A with the index position of 2 equals to, if you run this one, you will get the output as a 15. Because at the index position 2, I have an element called as a 15. So this is a role of the indexing in Python, right? Now, with this introduction, you can also fetch the values present in this tuple based upon the index position. So as I told you, by default, the index position starts with the value 0. So here you can see that in tuple 1, I have these 8 elements. So at index position 0, I have a value 244. Index position 1, I have a value 456. At index position 2, I have a value 760, value 23. Index position 4, I have a value 568. Index position 5, value is 22. Index position 6, value 7. Index position 7, the value is 6980. Now, based upon these index position, I can fetch any of the element from this tuple. Now, how to get elements? So for that, you need to use the square braces, and within this square braces, you need to write the index position number. Right? This is how you can fetch the element present in your variable or tuple. So let's suppose I want to fetch this 456. So what is the index position for this 456? It is the index position 1, because the indexing starts with 0. So the first element having the index position 0, second element index position 1. So name of your variable, the name of the variable is a tuple 1, is square braces, the index position 1. And if you run this one, you will get the output 456. So this is how you can fetch the elements, right? Apart from that, there are couple of variations are there. So let me just tell you. Now there is something called as a sequence operator. So these two operator. So if I write in Python, let's say 1, 2, let's say 5. So what this, let me just run this one for you. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, anyways, so let me just tell you the meaning of the sequence operator. So if you write here, let's say 1:5. So what it will do, it will take all the numbers starting from 1 up to 5 minus 1. That means up to 4. So that means 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it will not include the end position number, rather than it will take up to n minus 1. So if it starts with 0 to n, so eventually the numbers are from 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1. So this is something called as a sequence operator. So you can also use the sequence operator to fetch the elements. So let's suppose here I have written tuple 1, which is the name of this particular variable. And under the square braces, I have written 3 colon nothing. So nothing, if you don't write anything over this end position number, so that by default include up to the last number. So that means it will give you the elements starting with the index position 3 up to the last element. So what is the element present at the index position 3? So index position 0, 1, 2, and 3. So at index position 3, I have a element called as a 23. And from this 23, you will get all the elements present up to the last index position. So that's what you're getting in here in the output. 23, 568, 22, 7, 6, 9, 80. Right? So this is what you are getting here in the output. So this is the role of the index position. And you can also fetch the values based upon the index position from right to left. So this is the index position, what I have told you, like 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. This is from left to right. If you want to write the index position from right to left, it starts with a -1, -2, -3, and so on. So here, the tuple of -2, that means I want the value or the element present at the second last position. So in the second last position, the element is a 7. That's why we are getting the 7. So this is how indexing works in the Python. Right? Now let's come back to the definition of this tuple. So as I told you, tuples are nothing but these are the data structures in Python which can store the elements in an ordered manner, and it is immutable. So the meaning of the immutable is nothing but you cannot change the value of a tuple once it is being created. So if a particular tuple is being created, after creating the tuple, you cannot change its value. Let me just show you what does that mean. So guys, let's suppose I have this tuple 1, right? I have this tuple 1, and these are the 8 values present in this tuple 1. Now, if I want to check what is the value present at index position 1, so how I can check it? Name of my variable tuple 1, square braces, index position 1. I can see here at index position 1, I have an element 456. So this is the element present at the index position 1. Now, if I want to change the value of this particular index position 1, let's suppose instead of 456, I want to make it as a 100. So how I can do that? It's very simple. Tuple 1, select the index position equals to whatever value you want to replace it. So I want to replace 456 by 100. But the moment you run this one, you will get an error. The error you are getting because the tuples are immutable. Once a tuple is created, you cannot change its value. So this is the meaning of the immutable object. Tuple is immutable object. You cannot change the values of the element of the tuple once it is being created. So that's why you will get an error here. So this is the basics regarding the first data structure in Python, that is the tuples. Right? So this is the way how you can create the tuple, how you can check whether a particular variable is a tuple or not, how you can concatenate, and how you can do the repetition of the element, how you can fetch the elements from the tuple, and why tuple is immutable. So this is why tuple is immutable. You cannot change the value of the elements in the tuple. Okay, so let's discuss the second data structure, which is the list. So list is again a data structure in Python that can store the multiple items or elements in a single variable. List is also ordered. That means the items have defined the order and the order will not change. Now, with this list, the property is it is mutable. So unlike the tuple, which is immutable, list is mutable. Mutable means you can change the value of an element inside the list. So let me just show you how you can create the list. So let's suppose I want to create a list with the name of L1. So it's a variable name. And list is always created with the help of the square braces. So within the square braces, you need to write your elements with the help of the comma. So here I have created a list L1, and in this list L1, I have put some of the fruits name like apple, banana, grapes, apple, mango, right? And if you print the value of this L1, so you will get all these values stored in the list L1. Two elements are there. We have a function called length, which is the length in short. So length of L1 is 5. In total, we have 5 elements: apple, banana, grapes, apple, and mango. And as I told you, in Python, the indexing starts from 0. So that means at index position 0, I have an element called as the apple. Index position 1, I have a banana. Index position 2, I have a grapes. Index position 3, I have again apple. And index position 4, I have a mango. Total 5 elements. And the index positions are like 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? So this is how you can create the list. You can also create a list with mixed kind of a data types, like you can include the numerical as well as the character kind of elements in the same list, right? And let's suppose I have a list L2. This is my list L2, and I want to add a particular element in this list. So how I can add? So for that, we have a method called as a append, APPEND. Append is a method which is used to add the element inside a list. So how to apply this particular method? The method is being applied with the help of the dot operator. So name of your variable. So my variable is a L2 dot append is my method. And within that append method, you need to write what is the element you want to add. So let's suppose I want to add 100. So this is what I have written here, L2 dot append of 100. And whatever new element you are adding to your list, that element will always be added at the last position. So after this D, we have a new element called as the 100. Right? So this is how you can add an element to the list. And as I told you, list is a mutable object, so you can change the values of the element inside a list. So here you can see in the list L2 at index position 1, I have an element 34. Let's suppose I want to replace this 34 with the value of 10. So what I can do, L2 of 1, that means select the element which is at the index position 1 and assign the value as a 10. So since list is a mutable, that's why if you check after assigning this 10 at the index position 1, now instead of 34, I have a value 10 here because list is a mutable. So unlike the tuple, list is a mutable. So this is how you can create a list. You can append a value inside a list and you can replace the value, or you can modify the value or the elements inside the list. All right. Just a minute. Let me just see what of this. Yes, Balam. So tuples are immutable. You cannot change the values of the tuple. Okay, guys. Let me share my screen. Okay, so till now we have discussed two data structures. One is the tuple, another one is a list. Let's see the other data structures which are equally important. So apart from list and tuple, we have another data structure in Python that is called as a sets. All right. So set is an unordered collection of data which is iterable, mutable, and has no duplicate element. So the most important property of this set is it is mutable, first of all. And second thing, it cannot contain the duplicate element. So mutable means you can change the value inside the set. Whatever elements you have in set variable, you can change the values, and you cannot pass the duplicate elements inside the set. So let's see how you can create a set data structure in Python. So for that, guys, we have a function called as a set to create a set data structure, right? And within this function, you need to pass a list of elements. So this square braces is nothing but the list of elements. This list of elements are passed inside the set function. So this is what I have done here. And I want to, let's suppose I have created a variable called S1, which is a set with a method called as a set angle braces. Inside the angle braces, I have passed a list of variables. So I have a values like A, B, and C inside a list, and this list is passed inside the set function. Now, if you see what are the values stored in this set S1, so S1 will give the values A, B, C in the curly braces. In the curly braces. So this is the indication that this curly braces is the indication that it is the set. So tuples are stored inside the angle braces. List is stored inside the square braces. Set value is stored inside the curly braces. So in the output, you can see here, the values are stored inside the curly braces. That means it's a set kind of a data structure. You can also add the element to this set. And to add the element, I have a method called as a add. So add is a method through which you can add any of the element inside the set. And how to utilize this method? Using the dot operator. So name of your variable S1 dot add, and whatever elements you want to add. Let's suppose I want to add the D. So this is what is written here, S1 dot add D. And whatever new element you have, that new element will always present at the last index position, right? So this is how you can add the element inside the set, and you can create the set data structure. Apart from that, you may also create a set with a different kind of a data types. So you may have a numerical elements as well as the character or string kind of a value in the same set. So these are the details regarding the set. And as I told you, for sets, you can't have the duplicate elements. So if you see this particular line of code, so here I have created a set inside the curly braces, and here I have passed some duplicate records. So like 10, 20, 30, 40, 30, and 20. So you can see here 30 is repeated, 20 is also repeated. And I have saved this particular set values inside a variable called S3. But once I have printed the variable S3, in the output, I am only getting the unique values. That means set will always remove the duplicate elements. So these 30 and 20, these are removed. So set will always contain the unique elements. It will not allow the duplicate elements. Right? So that's why set is like this is the property of the set. And apart from the set, I have another data structure that is called as a dictionary. Dictionary is also, you can see it's the extension of the set, which is ordered, mutable, and it is also not allowing any duplicate element. But the difference between the dictionary and set is dictionary has an arrangement of values in a form of the key value pair. So the values inside the dictionaries are like inside the curly braces. Inside the curly braces, you have something called as the key, colon, and here you have a value with respect to this particular key. In a same dictionary, you may have a multiple key value pairs. So let's suppose you have a more than one key value pair, but the thing is the value of key will always be unique. You cannot have a key value repeated, more than once. So that means if you have a more than one key value pair, so the key value for the first value is nothing but, let's suppose it's a key 1 and the value 1, comma, you have a key 2 with the same value 1. That can possible, but the value of key cannot, the key value cannot be repeated. These values can be repeated, but this key cannot be repeated. So this is the property of the dictionary data structure, and how to create the dictionary with the help of the curly braces only. So this is how a dictionary looks like. Key 1, for this key, the value is this item 1. For key 2, the value is item 2. It's like, let's suppose I want to create a dictionary with key as a name and age. So I have a name, and for this name, the name of the candidates are like A, B, and C. And the second key is age, and the age of these candidates A, B, C, let's suppose 26, 25, and 27. So this is how you can create a dictionary, right? And also, you can fetch the keys and these values separately. So we have something called as a method called as a keys. Keys is a method that can be used with the help of the dot operator. So name of your variable, here I have a variable d2 dot keys. So what it will do, it will just give you what all the unique keys are there in your dictionary. So here I have two unique keys. One is a name, another one is a age. So this is what I'm getting here, name and age. You can also get the values. What are the values? This ABC and 26, 25, and 27 with the method called as a values. Values. So values is the method. You can utilize this method with the help of the dot operator and name of your variable. So d2 dot values will give you the values present in this particular dictionary d2. Right? So this is how you can create a dictionary, and you can fetch the keys and values from the dictionary. So guys, this is the introduction with respect to the Python data structure. So this is the very overview kind of a thing, very top view kind of a thing. There are a lot of things are there, but I have covered like what are the basic requirement with respect to the Python data structure. Right? Let me just see what other questions are there. Yes, so you can change the size of a list by adding the element or removing the element. All right. Even you can fix the size of a list before inserting the elements. Okay. Don't worry about the attendance, guys. You will get the attendance form. Okay. Just a minute, guys. I'm sharing my screen. Patan, HTML concept is very much different from the Python. Right? So in like for HTML, the things are very much different from the Python programming. Right? Because HTML is used for the web development mainly. Okay, let me share my screen. We'll see few more things required based on the programming part. So I'm sure my screen is visible to all of you, right? Okay. So guys, till now I have covered the basic Python data structure requirement. And when it comes to the data science part, so ultimately you need to handle the large amount of data. So what is the data? So data, it can be a numerical form, it can be in a text form or in a character form, right? So what you need to understand here, if you want to handle large amount of data in Python, first of all, you need to import the data from your local system into this Jupyter notebook environment. From your local system into the Jupyter notebook environment. And once you make your data available over this environment, then only you can manipulate or analyze your data. So first of all, I will tell you how you can import your data set over this Jupyter environment. And then I will show you how you can handle the data in a different manner. All right. So let's suppose, guys, let me just show you the file also. Okay, not a problem. Okay, let's suppose, guys, I have a data set in a CSV format. I'm sure all of you guys know what is a CSV form of data set. All right. Can you guys write down what is the full form for CSV? Okay, so actually CSV and Excel, these two are the most commonly used format to store the data. Let me just show you how it looks like. So it simply looks like an Excel file. Yes, it's a comma separated file. It simply looks like an Excel file, but the full form for CSV is a comma separated values. Right? So either you will get data set in a CSV form or in an Excel form, like Excel file. So you need to import this CSV or Excel file from your local system into the Jupyter environment. Right? For that, guys, we have a different, packages or libraries in Python for different tasks. So in today's session, I will explain you a couple of packages or libraries. Out of that, the most commonly used libraries or packages are something called as a pandas and NumPy. So these two are most commonly used libraries in Python. Apart from these two, there are a couple of other libraries like matplotlib, we have a Seaborn, we have a ExcelR, and a couple of other libraries. So what are these libraries? So these libraries are used for specific tasks. So under these libraries, we have a number of functions available, and you can utilize these functions for a particular task. Like if I talk about the pandas. So pandas are nothing but it is one of the most commonly used library in Python, which is used for a data analysis and manipulation. So pandas is a library which is used mainly for a data analysis and manipulation. Under this pandas library, we have a number of functions available, and you can utilize these functions for your data analysis and manipulation related tasks. The full form for the pandas are nothing but it's a panel data analysis. So pandas stands for a panel data analysis. That is the full form for pandas. So as I told you, pandas is a library which is used for a data analysis and manipulation. And under this pandas, we have a number of functions available. Apart from the pandas, we have another useful library that is known as a NumPy. NumPy. So NumPy, first of all, let me just tell you the full form. It stands for the numerical Python. Numerical Python. So that means if you want to apply any kind of a numerical analysis over your data set, that is being done with the help of the NumPy library. Within this NumPy, I have a number of functions available. So functions like sum, mean, standard deviation, variance. So all of median. So all are the numerical or statistical functions are available under this particular package or library called as a NumPy, which is a numerical Python. So if you want to apply any kind of a numerical or statistical operation over your data set, so that is being done with the help of the NumPy library using the functions available inside the NumPy. So likewise, we have a number of packages available for specific tasks. And within those packages, we have a number of functions available that can be utilized to fulfill our requirement. But in today's session, I will show you how you can utilize this pandas and NumPy. So first of all, guys, you need to import the package in your Jupyter environment. So to import any of the package, the syntax is like import name of your package, as you can give here the short name. So I'm importing the pandas as PD. You can write any name here, but it is you can take, most of the times you can find pandas as a PD. So it's a short form for the pandas, right? Similarly, I'm importing the NumPy as a NP. You can change the name here. You can write here A1 or A2 or, P1, N1, something like that. So here I'm importing pandas as a PD, importing NumPy as a NP. So this is how you can import the packages. And then I have a data set called as a salaries data set. Let me just show you this data set. Just a minute. Okay. So let me just show you the data set, how it looks like. So guys, this is the CSV file I have. I'm sure my screen is visible to all of you. This is the CSV file I have. And in this CSV file, I have this data set available. So here I have a column called as a rank, discipline, PhD, service, sex, and salary. So under this rank, I have whether the candidate is it's a university related data set. So whether the candidate is a professor or associate professor or assistant professor, likewise for different employees, I have this rank profile. And then what is the discipline for that particular candidate? How many thesis or research paper that particular candidate have done for the PhD? How many number of years in the service for that particular candidate? What is the sex for the candidate, male or female? And then what is the salary of the candidate? So likewise, I have this data set, and I want to analyze this data set over the Jupyter notebook using the Python. So first of all, this data set is available in my local system. So I need to import this data set from my local to the Jupyter environment. So this has been done with the help of the pandas library. Right? So as I have imported the pandas as a PD, so under this pandas, I have a function called as a read underscore CSV and read underscore Excel. So these are the two functions available inside the pandas. Using these functions, I can import either a CSV file or an Excel file from my local system into this Jupyter environment. Right? So this is what I have done here. PD, which is PD stands for the pandas. So I have already imported pandas as a PD with the name of the PD. So instead of writing completely pandas, so I will write in a short as a PD. Dot is the operator to use any of the function available inside this particular library. And the function name is a read underscore CSV because my file is a CSV file. And inside this function, you need to provide the complete path where your file is there. So under this desktop, under the ExcelR folder, under this latest DS material folder, under this folder, I have a dataset called as a salaries, which is a CSV file. So this complete path you need to provide inside the quotes. So inside the quotes, you need to provide the complete path under this function called as a read underscore CSV. So this is how I'm importing my salaries data set, which is a CSV file, and I'm saving this data set with a variable called as a DF. With a variable called as a DF. The same way you can import Excel file, just like the CSV file, pd.read underscore Excel is a function. And inside this function, you need to pass your complete path where your data set resides. So in that way, you can import your data set from the local into your Jupyter environment. And I'm saving this salaries data set with a variable called as a DF. So DF is the name of the variable. Now, let's suppose I have done with this one. So how I can run this one? So first of all, let me run the import part. Okay. Now I want to import this data set. Let me just run it. Shift enter. Now import is done. Now I want to check whether this data set is imported in the DF variable or not. So what I can do, I can write the variable name DF and just run this particular cell. Now you can see here, my data set is successfully imported into this Jupyter environment. So I have a rank, discipline, PhD, service, sets, and salary. These are my variables or features or columns. And these are the records. And you can see here, when you see your data set with this variable called DF, so I have a variable called DF, you can take any of the variable name. It will show you first couple of records and the last couple of records. It will not show you the complete data set, rather than it will show you first 5 records and last 5 records only. Right? And after this data set, you can see here it is written that how many number of rows and columns are there in this data set. So this is something called as a dimension of your data set. This is called as a dimension of your data set. Right? So what is the dimension of this data set DF? So this data set DF contains 78 rows and 6 columns. So columns are also called as the features. Columns are also called as the features. Right? So this data set contains the 78 records or the rows with 6 columns or the features. Okay. Now, as I told you, if you want to utilize any of the function available in Python, over the data set. So you can utilize all those functions with the help of the dot operator. So before the dot, you need to write the name of your variable, and after the dot, the name of the function or the method. So likewise, we have a function called as a head and tail. Head and tail. We have these two functions, and what these functions will do. First of all, let's see how you can utilize this function. So as I told you, you can utilize this function with the help of the dot operator. Name of your data set, dot head or dot tail. So what is the utility of this head and tail function? So these functions will give you, okay, so if you utilize the head command or head function, so it will give you first 5 records of your data set. The top or the first 5 records you will get as the output. If you're using the tail command, you will get the last 5 records. Right? So head function will give you the first couple of records, and tail function will give you the last couple of records. You can also mention how many number of records you want from this head or tail function. Let's suppose I only want to see the first 3 rows or the first 3 records. So I can write here df.head of 3. So it will show you the first 3 records. Let's suppose I want to show, I want to get know like what are the last 3 records. df.tail, tail is for the last couple of records. Let's suppose I want to see the last 2 records. So these are the last 2 records. So head function will give you the first couple of records. The tail function will give you the last couple of records. And guys, if you see here carefully, as I told you, the indexing in Python starts with a 0. That is also applicable over the data set. So in the data set, we have the rows and columns. So by default, for rows, you can see here the index position numbers. So this 0, 1, 2, 3 up to the 76, 77. So this is the index position number, which is by default assigned by the Python to all these records. So this first record is at the index position 0. The second record is at the index position 1. Third record at the index position 2, and so on. So it starts from 0 and it goes up to the 77. So from 0 to 77, total 78 records. The same is applicable for the column also. Since the indexing for the column is not visible here, but it's there. So the rank, this particular feature or this particular column has the index position 0. Discipline has the index position 1. PhD has the index position 2. It has the index position 3, 4, and 5. So in total, 6 columns or 6 features. So the indexing is always present, whether it is visible or not. Right? So I'm sure up to this point, you guys can import any of your data set either in CSV or Excel file, and you can check the dimension as well as first or last couple of records. Apart from that, guys, you can, okay, so if you see in this particular data set, I have 6 features. I have 6 features. Let's suppose out of all the 6 features, I only want to fetch a particular feature. I want to select a particular feature, not all the feature. So to select a particular column, here you have 2 ways. The first way to select a particular column is using the dot operator. How you can utilize? Name of your data frame, df, dot, name of your column. Name of your column. Or the second way is using the square braces. How you can utilize the square braces? Name of your data set, square braces, inside the quotes, name of your column. So you can choose any one of them these are the two methods. You can select any one of the method and you can get a particular feature from your data set. So let me just show you how you can do that. So let's suppose, guys, I want to select this rank variable or rank feature. So how I can select? Name of my data set df is square bracket. Under this square bracket, inside the quotes, name of my column or the variable. Name of the variable is a rank. Right? So in that way, you can select a particular feature from your data set. You can also select more than one feature from your data set, but for that, you need to use the double square braces. You need to use the double square braces. So name of your data frame, double square braces, and inside that, the column 1, comma, column 2, likewise. So you can see here, this is nothing but the list. So square braces is an indication of the list elements. So if you want to fetch more than one column, you need to pass a list inside a list, right? So you have this is the inner list and this is the outer list. So you have a list present inside a list. If you want to select more than one columns, let me just show you how you can do that. So let's suppose I want to select, let me just do it here. Let's suppose I want to select discipline and PhD, these two columns. So what I need to write df double square braces, which is a list inside a list. Inside the quotes, my first column name, which is a discipline, comma. Let's suppose my second column name is a PhD. And if you run this one, you will get these two columns. Okay? So if you want to select one particular feature, so you have either dot operator or a single square braces. But if you want to select more than one features, you have a double square braces operator, which is the list inside the list. So this is how you can select one or more than one features from your data set. Having said that, so okay, so this is the tail function. As I told you, by default, you will get the 5 records. Right? Now, apart from that, guys, we already saw what is the dimension of my data set just by printing the variable name where I have stored my data set. So at the bottom, you will get what is the dimension. You can also get the dimension with the method called as a shape. So there is a method called shape. And how you can utilize this method? With the help of the dot operator. Name of your data frame, dot, the method called as a shape. So once you execute this particular command, you will get in the output how many number of rows are there, comma, how many number of columns are there in this data frame df. So you can see here, I have executed df.shape. So here I have a 78 rows and 6 columns. So the first number will always indicate the number of rows. The second number will always indicate the number of columns. Right? So the shape is another method through which you can get the dimension of your data set. Now, let's suppose I only want to see how many number of rows are there. I don't want to see the number of columns. I only want to see the number of rows. So can anyone tell me how I can get only this particular number? You can write your answers in the comment box or in the chat box. Guys, don't worry, you will get the attendance link. I'm sure Amar will paste the attendance link and all. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's see, guys, how you can play with this result. As I told you, in Python, indexing always starts with a 0. So in this output, you have two numbers. The number 78 has the index position 0. The second number is having the index position 1. So if I want to get only number of rows, I can write here df dot shape. So this particular command will give me this output 78,6. But if I write shape of 0, so that will give me what is the number present at the index position 0. That's a 78. Right? And if I want to get the column, number of columns only, I can write here df dot shape of 1. 1 is the index position for this particular number. So I can get the value as a 6. All right. So this is how you can segregate these results. Okay. Apart from that, guys, sometimes what happens? So here, if you see, here we have only 6 features or 6 columns. But sometimes when it comes to the real-time scenario, here we have a more than 50, 60 columns. So probably you have a, let's suppose 80 features or 80 columns or 120 columns or 150 columns. So it is very difficult to identify what are the columns are present in your data set. So what you can do, you can get a list of your column names or the feature names. How? So we have a method called columns. You can utilize this method as a dot operator. So name of your data frame dot columns, and this will give you a list of your column names. So you can see here there is a square braces, and the square braces is nothing but it is an indication of list. So you will get a list of your column names. So we have a column name, column says rank, discipline, PhD, service, and salary. Right? So in that way, you can get the list of all your column names present inside the data set. Okay. Apart from that, guys, let me just show you what is my data set. So this is my data set. Let's suppose I want to analyze this data set in some numerical fashion. By saying numerical fashion, I mean, let's say I have a variable called as a service, and I want to see what is the minimum value present with this service feature. So you can see here, it's a numerical variable. Sorry, it's a numerical variable. I want to see what is the minimum service year present throughout all the records, or what is the maximum service year present, or what is the average service, or for, let's suppose for salary, what is the minimum salary present across all the records? What is the maximum salary present across all the records? What is the average salary, or any other statistics? So for that, what you can do, first of all, let's suppose I want to analyze what is the minimum salary present across all the records. So for that, first of all, you need to select the respective variable. And how to select the variable? Name of your data frame dot name of your column. So the column is a salary. You can also use the square braces. So it's like df square braces inside the quote salary. And then you need to apply the function what you want to analyze. So let's suppose I want to see what is the minimum value present inside this particular salary variable. So for that, guys, we have a function called as a min. Min is a function which will give you the minimum value. Max is the function which will give you the maximum value. Mean is a function which will give you the average value. So likewise, we have a couple of other functions, statistical functions for the analysis perspective. So let's suppose I want to apply the min function to get the minimum value. So how I can apply? With the help of the dot operator. So salary dot min. Dot min. That will give you the minimum value for this particular variable salary, which is present inside this data frame df or data set df. Right? So this is how you will get. So what is the minimum value? This is the 57,800 is the minimum salary value present across all the records. What is the maximum value of this salary variable is present? That is the 1,86,960. This is the maximum salary present across all the records. If you write df of the max, so what it will do? It will give you the maximum value present across all the variables. Right? If you write here minimum function over your data frame directly without selecting any of the features, so it will give you what is the minimum value present across all the features. So like for salary, the minimum value is this one. For service, the minimum value is 0. For PhD, the minimum value is 1, and so on. You can also see here for your character variable, like the variables which contain the character values or the string values. For that also, you're getting the max and min. So like for rank variable, you're getting the max as a prof. So actually, it is, if you apply this max min function over this kind of a variable where you don't have a numerical values present, so it will give you the max min based upon the alphabetical order. Right? So minimum, that's why you're getting the associate professor, because the first, I mean, if you see the alphabetical order, first of all, you will get the A, and it will goes towards the Z. So the minimum, it will consider as an alphabetical order starting with A. The maximum, it will consider as a, there's something called as a P for a professor. That's why you're getting this one. But applying this kind of a function over this kind of a variables, there is no meaning. So you can ignore that part. Okay, so let me just check what are the questions from your end. Okay. Yeah, you can also use the Google Colab. That is also another available option. So there also you will get the same Jupyter, Jupyter notebook kind of environment. Okay. Great. So let me share my screen. So I'm sure my screen is visible to all of you. So let's see, guys, couple of other things. As I told you, how you can select more than one features or more than one variable from your data set. So using the double square braces, that's the list inside the list. Okay, so we have, guys, one more function or method. The method name is a value underscore counts. So we have a function or method known as a value underscore counts. And how you can utilize this method? Using the dot operator, name of your data frame, dot value underscore counts. What it will do? So the utility of this value underscore counts is nothing but, so let's suppose, guys, I have a small data set. With, let's say, a rank, and let's suppose PhD. So I'm just taking some, small data set just to explain what is this value underscore counts. So let's suppose in the rank I have a some random numbers. So let's suppose A, and the PhD, let's say 10. Rank B 2, rank A, let's suppose 3, rank C 9, rank B 1, rank B 8, rank A, let's say 5. Let's suppose, guys, I have this kind of a data set. And if you're applying the value underscore counts function over this rank variable, so how you can apply? First of all, you need to select the rank variable. And how you can select? So you can select like df dot or df of rank. So this is how you can select this variable, and over this variable, let's suppose I'm applying the method called as a value underscore counts. What this will do, it will check what are the unique values present in this rank variable. So what are the unique values? A, B, and C. There are 3 unique values present in this rank variable: A, B, and C. And then for each and every unique value, it will give you how many number of records are there. So for A, I have a 1, 2, and 3 records. So for A, I have a 3 records. For B, 1, 2, 3 records. For C, I have only 1 record. So this is what value underscore counts will do. It will give you what are the unique records or unique values you have, and for each and every unique values, how many number of total records are there. So for A, where the rank equals to A, I have a 3 records. For rank equals to B, I have a 3 records. For rank equals to C, I have only 1 record. So this is what you will get as the output of the value underscore counts function. So this is what I have applied here. So I have applied this value underscore counts method over the discipline variable. So what it will give me, what are the unique values present in this discipline variable? So there are 2 unique values, A and B. And what are the total number of records for these unique categories? So out of 78 records, 42 records belongs to the discipline B and 36 records belongs to the discipline A. So out of 78, 42 records belongs where the discipline is B. 36 records belongs where the discipline value is A. So this is what you are getting as the output of the value underscore counts. Right? Okay. You can also use, there is something called as a unique function. This unique function will only give you what are the unique values. It will not give you the number of counts, but it will give you what are the unique values present. Right? So this is the difference between the unique method and value underscore counts method. Let me just see what are the questions are there. Yes, Praveen, recording will be available. Don't worry about that. Okay, great. Okay, so these are some basic things how you can handle your data set, how you can fetch the variables or columns, how you can apply a different kind of statistics, how you can analyze your data set, how you will get the dimension from for your data set. Let's see a couple of more things. So there is something called as a group by operation. Before starting with this group by, let me just show you what is your data frame or data set. So this is my data set. Now we are going to see what is this group by operation. So group by operations are nothing but we are consolidating the records based upon the given condition. Group by are nothing but consolidation of the records. Consolidation of the records based upon the applied condition. How we are consolidating the records, that is something called as a condition, and the operation is called as a group by. So what group by will do? So let me just show you through an example. Okay. So let's suppose, guys, I want to consolidate this data set based upon the discipline column. Right? I want to consolidate the data set based upon the discipline column. So for that, we have a method or function called as a group by. Group by. Within this method, you need to pass the variable name using that variable, it will consolidate your data set. And there is a requirement for the group by operation is that the moment you are applying the group by function, immediately after the group by, you need to apply some kind of a aggregation method, some kind of a aggregation function or method. Now, aggregation function, it can be sum, it can be minimum value, it can be max value, it can be count, it can be any kind of a aggregation function. So you cannot use the group by without aggregation. I mean, that it doesn't mean you will get the error, but that doesn't make any sense. So immediately after applying the group by function, you need to apply the aggregate method. And how to apply the aggregate method? Based upon the dot operator. So let me just show you what is the output of the group by and how it looks like and how you can apply this. So first of all, name of your data set, which is a DF. Dot is the operator to use the group by function. And inside the group by, you need to select the variable over which you are applying the group by function. So here I have selected the discipline function. And you guys know the values present in this discipline is A and B. There are two values present in this discipline, A and B. And then immediately after this group by, I am applying the sum aggregation function. So what this group by will do? It will group the records based upon these values. Based upon these values. So that means out of 78 records, we already saw that there are 36 records belongs to the value A and 42 records belongs to the discipline B. So first of all, it will group these 36 records with this particular set A, and this 42 records are grouped with this particular discipline value B. And then I'm applying the sum operation. So what this sum will do? It will add all the numerical values for these 36 records separately and these 42 records separately for each and every numerical variable. So in the output, what you will get? You can see in the output, first of all, we have applied the group by over the discipline variable. So I am getting the two groups here. This is a group 1 for a discipline A. This is a group 2 for a discipline B. And then as I have applied the sum, so I'm getting the total number of PhDs, service and salary for group A and group B. In group A, I have a total 36 records. In group B, I have a total 42 records. For these 36 records, what is the sum of PhD value? What is the sum of the service? What is the sum of the salary? And for group B, what is the sum of this PhD for these 42 records? What is the sum of the service? What is the sum of the salary? This is what group by will do. It will create a group based upon the variable what we have passed. Let me just show you another example. Let's suppose I want to group by the rank variable, and then I want to see what is the average value for the numerical variables. So what it will do, it will rank the your data set based upon the, it will group the data set based upon the rank variable. So with this rank, I have three values: associate professor, assistant professor, and professor. That's why I'm getting the three groups. And for each and every group, what is the average value of the PhD, service, and salary? So this is how you will get the outcome of the group by, right? So let's suppose for example, let's say for associate professor, I have 10 records. For assistant professor, let's suppose I have 18 records. For professor, let's say I have 20 records. So for these 10 records, what is the average of PhD column? What is the average of service column? What is the average of the salary? For these 18 records where the rank is assistant professor, what is the average of PhD? What is the average of service? What is the average of salary? So in that way, you will get the output. This is something called as a group by operation. Let me just check what are the questions are there. Okay. I hope this part is clear to you guys. If you have any doubt or it's not clear, you can write it over the chat box if you have any confusion, right? So here, guys, we saw you can apply the group by operation over a particular variable. But you can use the group by operation even more than one variable also. So let me just show you how you can do that. So here, if you see this particular line of code, so here I'm using the group by operation over discipline as well as rank. And then I want to see what is the average value for all the numerical variables. So what it will do? First of all, it will group your data set based upon the discipline variable. So that's why the first grouping you can see here at the level 1, the grouping is done based upon the discipline, group A and group B. And then after discipline, it will group your data set based upon the rank. So within the group A, I have an associate professor, assistant professor, professor. Within the group B, I have an associate professor, assistant professor, and professor. And then I have an average value of the PhD service salary for each and every groups. So for example, let's suppose for this group A, in total, I have a 36 records. And let's suppose out of 36, let's say 10 records are in associate professor, 16 records in assistant professor, and 10 records in the professor. So what I'm getting, the average value of the 10 records for associate professor for PhD service and salary, the average value of these 16 records for assistant professor for PhD service and salary, the average value of the 10 records for professor within the discipline A for PhD service and salary. So this is how the grouping operation is performed, right? So this is the practical scenario how you can apply the group by, and it is very useful when it comes to the business case. Okay. Apart from that, guys, sometimes there is a requirement to filter out the records based upon the certain condition. Filtering out the records based upon the certain condition means, for example, let's suppose this is my data set. And from this data set, I want to filter out those records for which, let's suppose, the salary is greater than 50K or 50,000. I want to get only those records for which the salary is greater than 50,000. Or let's suppose the salary is more than 1 lakh. I don't want the records for which the salary value is less than 1 lakh. That means I don't want this record number 2. So this is something called as a filtering operation based upon certain condition. Let's suppose, for example, I want only those records for which the discipline is B. I don't want the records for which the discipline value is A. That means I don't want this record number 2, 3, and 4. I need only record number 1 and 5. So this particular filtering operation you can perform based on the given condition. Let me just show you how you can do that. So this filtering operation, you can easily do that with the help of the square braces. The thing is very simple. Name of your data frame. Then inside the square braces, just write down the condition. Let's suppose the condition is you want to filter out the records for which the salary is greater than this particular amount. So the syntax will be name of your data frame, square braces, and within the square braces, you need to write the condition. What is the condition? The salary is greater than this particular amount. And how to select this salary? Using the df dot salary operator. You can also use the square braces here. Right? So this is what it is done here. DF is the name of the data set, square braces, and within the square braces, salary is greater than this particular amount. So just write the condition inside the square brackets. This is how you can filter out the records. And in the output, you can see here, you are getting only those records for which the salary value is greater than this particular amount. Right? So this is how you can filter out the records. You can also apply even more than one condition. Let me just show you. Let's suppose you want to filter out the records where the rank is professor and the salary is greater than this particular amount. Right? Or let's say it's not a salary. Let's suppose it's a PhD is greater than 20. So this is the condition through using that you want to filter out the records. So the condition will, the syntax will be same. Name of your data frame, then square braces. Now here you have two conditions. And in between the two conditions, we have the AND operator. So first of all, you need to identify whether the operator is AND or OR operator. If the operator is AND, that means both the condition need to be fulfilled together. So if I write A and B, that means I need both A and B. If I write A or B, that means any one of them will be okay for me. So this is the difference between and OR. So if the AND operator is there, that means I need to I want to only those records for which both the conditions are satisfied simultaneously. And if it is the OR operator, then it means I will get those records for which any one of the condition is satisfied, either condition 1 or condition 2. And in Python, to apply the AND operator, we have a symbol called as an ampersand. So this is a symbol which is applied using the AND condition. For OR, we have this particular parallel line operator. So this is what I have written the condition. So under the square braces, this is my first condition, df of rank. So first of all, I have selected my rank variable and then equals to professor. Right? So this is the first condition. AND operator, the second condition is df of PhD, which is greater than 20. So in the final output, you can see here, you will get only those records for which the rank is professor and the PhD value is greater than 20. And both the conditions are satisfied simultaneously. So this is something called as an AND operator with two or more than two conditions. You may also have the OR condition. So let's suppose you want those records for which either the rank is professor or the salary is greater than this particular amount. So here we have an OR operator. If the operator is OR, it is denoted by this parallel line, right? So the first condition is rank is greater than, rank equals to professor, or the salary is greater than or equals to this particular amount. So in the output, you will get the records which satisfy either of these conditions. So if you see in the output, if you see the second record, for second record, the salary is less than this amount, but the rank is professor. That's why you are getting this particular record. If you see this particular record, here the rank is associate professor, but the salary is greater than this amount. So if any one of the condition is satisfied, you will get the output. That is the OR operator. Right? So this is how you can filter out the records based upon the different conditions. Even you can apply more than two conditions based upon the given scenario. So this is what I need to cover based upon the today's session. Right. So let me just see what other questions you guys have. If you guys have any doubt or any queries, you can post it in the chat box or in the comment box. So guys, this is the brief idea related to like how you can use the Python with respect to the data science, how you can handle the data set using the Python. Rituja, the PPT is already uploaded for the yesterday's class. So Amar will help you regarding that. The materials will already uploaded, and for today's class, the materials will get uploaded by tomorrow. Am I right, Amar?
Yes, you're right. Okay. Guys, don't worry about the material. We'll upload that on a timely basis. Yesterday's material already there in the LMS, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so tomorrow's topic will be, I will walk you through the basics of the text analytics. That is called as the NLP part, most probably. Pranjal, I have already covered what is the difference between list and tuples. Right, so you can go through the recording and you will get all these notes. Okay. Yeah, most probably NLP part I will cover in tomorrow's session. No, SQL is not same as pandas. SQL is something which is related to the database. So it's a structured query language. Pandas is something, it is a library present in the Python framework. It will not uploaded over the website. So the lecture is, I'm sure the recordings will present over the portal. So you can log into the portal and you can go through the recordings. Okay. So Arya, it depends what kind of a data set you are dealing with. I mean, it's very general question how to read specific lines. So if you're dealing with the numerical data, you can get the records based upon the index position. So Sarta, it's up to you. You can also decide the number of columns. And if you're not choosing the number of columns for the aggregation function, it will give you the aggregation function with respect to all the columns. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you very much. Thank you, Balam. Yeah, that's all from my end, guys, for today's session. In tomorrow's session, probably I will start with basics of the text mining or NLP part. Over to Amar.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for such a wonderful sessions. So guys, if you have any query or question, please drop me in the chat box, Zoom, and YouTube people as well. I hope you're enjoying the session. If yes, give me a quick thumb, and YouTube peoples, I want like from your side. Any query, any question. I'm open for the question. Please let me know. Any feedback as well. Sir, yesterday I was the meeting, but didn't fill out the form cause of connectivity. Will it affect in any way? Please answer. So guys, don't worry about that. Anyway, 60% of attendance is mandatory to get the certificate. So try to fill the attendance for remaining days. Okay. So who is there? Al-Fadi is saying it's wonderful session, sir. Thank you. Attendance link. Okay, I'm sharing that. Was out again and again due to network issue, but marked attendance will be marked absent. No, it will be present if you're marking your attendance. Okay. I'm sharing guys attendance link. 1 minute. Okay, Meghna, we'll try for that. Same, Noor, whatever method you use to join the session today, same you have to follow for tomorrow as well. Okay. What about today's PPT? So guys, today's PPT will upload by tomorrow afternoon over LMS. So don't worry about that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You're most welcome. Guys, quick like YouTube peoples. Okay. It was a very wonderful session. I understood everything easily, and the way of teach is very simple and amazing. This feedback is going to the Vikas. So thank you. Thank you so much for beautiful session, sir. It was very useful. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, in another question, one more thing. If you are facing any difficulty to access the LMS, drop an email to edl@excelr.com. My team will check that and they will help you on the same. Okay, so I'm sharing that email ID with all of you. So please take that email ID, drop an email, we'll check. Okay. Okay, somebody is asking me for day one attendance. So guys, the attendance link is always used to open between 8:30 to 9:30. So how am I able to share that link? It's not possible at all, right? So sorry for that. Yes, good question. Regarding to the LMS, so recordings and material will be there with you for lifetime. You can access that anytime. So you have to check that. Guys, if the practice files are there, then definitely you are able to download that. Okay. Pranjali is asking, can we leave? Yes, guys, if you don't have any query or question, you can leave. And we'll meet you on tomorrow at same time. Okay. Oh, where is the attendance? I already shared that. Don't worry. 1 minute. I'm sharing that. Thank you, sir. Good night. Who is presenting? Guys, don't do like that. If you want to present, you need to talk something. Would you like to present? Who is there? Is it mandatory to access the elements? Yes, you will get the recordings, material, attendance will be there. All things will be there over LMS for lifetime. So you can access that. Yes, guys, 3 more minutes. Session is clear and good. Thank you. Thank you, Sadhna. Sir, we'll have an assignment and test. So coming to the assignment, we'll have an assignment for the practice purpose. So there is no any assessment. Okay. No need to submit that as well. Today's session is Avesa. Wonderful. Thank you. Guys, you have to give your feedback in the attendance form as well. Ashwini, hi. Yes, tell me. Anjana, you're asking me for attendance link. 1 minute, I'm sharing with you. I'm sharing with everyone. Best session. Okay, thank you. Sir, my friend attended in YouTube. Tomorrow, can she attend in Zoom? Yes, she can. Atharva, use the same way. What way you join today's session? Okay. Priya is saying super explanation. Thank you. We are facing every day 1000 is the limit. Yes, guys, 1000 is the limit, but don't worry, we have YouTube as well. So you can go there, attend the session. If you have any query or question, drop in the live chat box. 10 will take it up. Okay, no need to worry about that. Today's session is very good. Okay, guys, last 1 minute. Then we'll wind up. Then we'll meet you on tomorrow. Okay. Please upload attendance link in the description from tomorrow. Yes, why? We're sharing in the chat box, na? And anyway, it's open between the 8:30 and 9:30. So no need to worry. I'm not able to access yesterday's material. Guys, it's already there. Please go and check. Sir, why it's showing 0% progress? Guys, don't worry about that progress of the LMS. You're attending the session. Okay, you're giving the attendance as well using the Google form. So that's fine. Yes, Rutuja, it's compulsory. For joining the session via Zoom, there is no required password ID. The link is open for all. Okay. Sir, I want yesterday's material. Is there over LMS? So there is one question. Sir, if attendance is not given due to issue, will I still get the certificate? So guys, I will have to inform you that once again, 60% attendance is a mandatory to get the certificate. Okay. So try to mark your attendance on a daily basis. 1 or 2 days here and there, that's okay. But try to mark as most as, okay? Okay. Then thank you. Yeah, we're done for the day. Thank you so much once again. And we'll